In this video, we're going to take a look at electrical connections on motorcycles, what to look for to find poor connections, and how to repair them. Let's get started. Here's my flasher unit, and if you'll notice, it's crusty there, and that's why the blinkers don't work good. What I'm going to do is take a stainless steel brush and clean those connectors off. You see the stuff coming off. Do both sides the best I can. Sometimes they're so corroded you have to take emery paper to them just to get them clean. Okay, now once I got that done, I'm going to take a pair of needle nose pliers and I'm going to squeeze this where it pushes on the flat blade, and just squeeze that a little bit to tighten up those connections. Now I'll push them on, and they'll fit well and connect good. There we go. Not loose. And install the flasher unit where it belongs. There we go. So I'm working on the spaghetti mess in the headlight. Now all these wires might freak you out, but just remember when you're working on this stuff that the stuff's color coded, and just match up the colors. And that's the simplest way to keep everything straight. Here's a typical example of a loose connector that started to cause a lot of problems. It got pretty hot and basically fried out this connection. So what I'm going to have to do is cut it off and splice in a new one. We say, hey, you know, I don't have another connector. I stole this connector off of another wiring harness that's similar to this one. It's really handy to have one of those around if you're doing electrical repairs on old bikes. So in order to repair this connection that got fried out, what I'm going to do is cut the old connection off. Then I'm going to strip off some of the wire. Sometimes these wires, when they get old, they get a little gray inside. It helps if you just rough them up a little bit with some emery paper. That way, when you go to sweat the joint, the solder flows a lot better. Then here's the replacement piece. I cut off an old wiring harness I had laying around, slide my heat shrink tubing on it, and then mechanically wrap this together. Part of making a good connection is to have a good mechanical connection. Well, that's what it looks like. I'm going to heat up the soldering iron and solder the joint. I'm going to let that cool a minute so I have a good soldered mechanical connection. Now sometimes there's like sharp edges on there, and I'll smash that down a little bit so it doesn't poke through the heat shrink tubing and cause another short. I'm going to slide my heat shrink tubing over it, hit it with a heat gun. That's my new connection. Find the yellow wire where it goes to and hook it back up. And now, make sure that puts in good. Pull it back and forth, make sure it's good and tight, and now I have a good solid electrical repair. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.